Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these gorgeous high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. Now, I'm getting my copy of Batfleck from Pop Collectibles. As always, do your own research, make sure you are comfortable before buying. I have popped the link to their site in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new figure preview video goes live on the channel. Okay, so if you'd asked me before this guy was announced if they were ever going to make another BvS Batfleck, I would have said absolutely not. They are all in on Christian Bale all the time, forever, over and over again until the end of time. They surprised me with this one. Pleasantly so, because as you all know, Batfleck is my guy. He's my favorite interpretation of Batman, so heck yes, I'm really excited to get stuck in. Now, he does come with a full array of hands, and I'm not sure yet if it's a new array of hands. They're probably just reused from the first version. There's not much need to give us a whole bunch of new hands, and I'm totally fine with that. He comes with 4 batarangs this time instead of, I think, the 3 that we got last time, as well as the kryptonite grenades, both an open and closed version, to go along with the grenade launcher, which we'll discuss in just a second. They have thrown in the bat branding iron, but not an orange version that looks like it's lit up, which I really would have liked to have seen here, just to sell the effect that it's a active branding iron, not just a bat-shaped piece of metal. Either way, if you've seen the film, you know exactly what this thing is supposed to be. And we get the various switch-outs for the grapnel launcher. But this time, there's a new array of these little bits and pieces. We get the small one, but then we get a much longer one on a metal cable. And finally, a posable version. I mean, it's just a no-brainer, right? Now you can have this thing wrapped around enemies or planted in the diorama that he comes with. It's way more dynamic and a lot more versatile, so hell yes, I'm happy that this thing is included. I'm just hoping the wire is sturdy enough to hold the poses that you want to put it in. Now this, to me, is worth the price of admission alone. Just me, I like the other stuff as well that we're about to get stuck into, but this head sculpt is absolutely banging. It looks incredible, in my opinion. If you don't agree with me, totally fine. You get the moving eyes, you get a split neck for maximum range of motion, and you get a skin tone neck, and you get swap out bangs for the hair, so you can have it dangling down his forehead or a little bit more slicked back and styled, if you so choose. The detail here, next level. You've got the stubble, got a little bit of that speckling of almost sweat on the surface, which makes sense because he would be a little bit sweaty in his costume, but it's not too much either. It can just pass off as some dewiness on the skin. I can't wait to use this as a custom Bruce Wayne in the collection. Those little strands of hair are really, really fine, and the likeness is just uncanny. Now, this is by no means the first Bruce Wayne head sculpt we've ever gotten from Hot Toys. We did get a Ben Affleck sculpt with the Justice League release, but it was far from perfect, so much so that I'm not even using that on my current Bruce Wayne figure. I'm using the 11 sculpt because I think the likeness is stronger. I will be now switching it out with this one though, because as you can see, that is Ben Affleck to a T. Now, he does come with 2 different cowls if you get the deluxe version. And by all means, this time it's deluxe or bust. If you get the deluxe version, it's pretty much a DX Batfleck, and who the heck doesn't want that, if you're a fan of Batfleck, that is. Oh, and these mini headstands with the Batfleck logo as the base that you can use to display whichever head sculpt you don't have on the figure, I like that idea a lot. Please, going forward, Hot Toys, don't take these away from us. If you're giving us figures with alternative head sculpts, always give us the stands, because you put so much effort into these sculpts, we want to display them, it's just that we can't, unless you give us the frickin' head stands, so fingers crossed they keep this ball rolling with the little stands. Now the likeness in the cowl, very strong. This is the non-articulated version, by the way. You also get 3 interchangeable mouth plates. Now that means that if you do have one in both cowls, you'll only have 1 spare. I like the expressions. The neutral one is my favorite. I think the likeness is strongest with that one, and it's on the cowl that's on the body, so you'll have to wait till we pan up to see that in just a second. So 2 cowls in total with the deluxe version, one articulated, the other static. But they both have moving eyes, and for Batfleck, you're gonna want to tilt those eyes up to make him look as mean as possible. So moving eyes, another nice touch, and a step up over the previous version. That just had switch out eyes. I think moving eyes, a better alternative. Now the display base is modular of sorts, you can remove some pieces and mix and match. For the most part, it's the diorama side of a building that's meant to be used in the pose from the scene when the lightning strikes and he's kinda doing the Dark Knight Returns pose. It was an homage to that in the movie at least. In 6 scale, it's pretty interesting actually because there's a ladder and it's very tall. I don't think I've ever seen a diorama display like this that you can actually have a figure climbing on. It's super unique, it's gonna stand out, and it's going to put him in that scene from the film. So, hell yes, I freaking love the way this thing looks. It's also not that tall. It's more of a half wall, I suppose, than a full one. The ladder extends up a little bit higher than the concrete wall itself. And it's detailed on both sides. For the concrete and brickwork, you've got the dry brushing, you've got the washes in the crevices, and then you've got the silver chipping and rust effects on the ladder. As I said, you do have multiple different options to display this thing, ladder facing forward, ladder facing back, or you can just mix and match the parts and pieces. It's a modular diorama display base. Now, Hot Toys have always struggled with their capes, not just for Batman, but for other characters as well. This time, they are trying to do better by including both options, a drape cape and a wired one. Now, there is some tattering down below. It looks a little bit too intentional for me, but I can get around that because the material looks very lightweight. This being the drape cape, it looks like it's actually going to drape properly. And there's the little clasp around the front that I assume magnetizes or velcros in place, so that when you take the cowl off, it will actually be accurate. Now, the boots, to me, look the exact same as last time. And I don't have any beef with that. Last time they worked great, a split cut design with a ton of detail sculpted in. You've got the wrinkles, you've got the zipper working its way up the inside, you've got that little blade sticking down around the back, you've got the cap that's painted in gold for the toe, and a ton of weathering. They've actually dialed up the weathering this time. I'm currently staring at my BvS Batman while filming this, the 1.0 version, and all of that brown weathering just simply isn't there. They look more like bare unpainted black plastic, to be totally honest. So adding even more detail, never a bad thing. Batman, at this point in the film, he's been stomping around, he's been fighting Superman, so yeah, there would be a little bit more dirt and grime on him. Now, out of all of the announcements and comparisons they made with the promo pics for this guy, the updated body, the better proportions, the new head sculpts, the diorama display base, the natural musculature they call it, the only thing they didn't mention was the durability of the suit. I'm worried. Looking at this, it looks to be the exact same material as last time, which means it could crack, it could flake, and it could peel. That leg right there on the thigh, it already looks like it's been worn off. Maybe that's intentional, maybe this is a choice, and okay if that's the case. I'm still shit scared to pose this thing. My first version is fine because I haven't posed it. I do have a second copy of that 1.0 BvS Batfleck that I picked up to customize, and that one is just absolutely destroyed. It's cracked, it's flaked, it looks terrible. So yeah, I am still worried about posing. I really wish I wasn't, but I am. For those of you worried about the belt position, don't be. Cosplay Chris calls this particular look the Harry High Pants look, because why is the belt riding so high? It's sitting right on his abs there. It should be a little bit lower to make him look more proportionate. You'll be able to adjust it. With the first version, you could even angle the sides of the belt down to make it look like it was that natural V taper to the waist, which is what I'm hoping is going to be possible with this version. For those thinking that the belt is the same mold, it isn't. This time they've actually switched it up a little. Which is why I'm not 100% confident that it'll work the same way as the first time round. We'll just have to wait and see. This time though, massive improvement with that chest symbol. It stands out against the lighter grey bodysuit with all of that almost gold weathering, which is actually supposed to be there depending on which hero costume you look at. And the tab of the cowl no longer covers the ears of the bat symbol. Thank goodness Hot Toys made that change. The gauntlets, though, they look identical to the first time round. There's a really nice level of leather grain texture, and they look accurate to me, big and chonky. I'm just hoping that they don't do the same thing that they did last time, where when you bend the elbow, the gauntlets slide forward and push off the hands. That was one of the most frustrating things about hosing the 1.0. So fingers crossed, like I said, they fixed that with this version, because they did with the Tactical Suit 2.0 from Justice League, so I have hope they'll do that with this version as well. Now, this is the articulated cowled head sculpt. Don't let looks deceive you, it looks seamless from the front. From the side, there is a seam underneath his jawline. It's not like how they did it for the actual practical movie prop at Ironhead Studios with that really interesting skull cap design, how the bottom of the cowl was bolted down to the suit and he could move his head left and right. This is just a ball joint with a split in the neck, or even a magnet, which is what I'm hoping for. I don't love the position they have the cowl in on display at Secret Base here, it makes his neck look a little bit too skinny and long. But in the right pose, this can work, and it means that you can get a proper head turn from Batfleck. Being one of the only live-action Batmen to have a proper head turn without having to have the helmet-style look, is the best way I can describe it. Yeah, I probably will be displaying him with the articulated cowl on. It's something different, and it will help him stand out in the display, if already being absolutely massive and beefy wasn't going to do that for you. The likeness to Ben, 100% there with this mouth plate. He's got the cleft chin and he's got the mole, plus tons of skin texture and detail. So the wired cape is lined with this more suede-like material, but then the outside is that waxy style finish. That to me does read enough like a heavy-duty leather cape that I'm okay with it, but if it doesn't for you, I understand. Go ahead and grab a custom cape. There are so many absolutely brilliant cape makers out there. The guys that come to mind for me right away, Jackson Zhu, Lucky from Unreal Toys, and Tony May. I'm sure there are more out there though, making sick custom capes for Batfleck. So just to run it down quickly at the end of the video, do I like the new body? Yes, he's bigger, he's more proportionate, and when you bend his knees, it looks like real anatomy. It doesn't look all broken up like last time. The suit is now way more accurate in color and in detail, especially the abs. Last time, there was an extra set of abs for some unknown reason. I had to remove them for my custom, which was not fun to do. This time you don't have to do that. You get wired and drape capes, the wired attachment for the grapnel launcher, 2 cowls, one articulated and one not, both with interchangeable mouth plates and articulated eyes, and just a gorgeous Ben Affleck head sculpt that I cannot wait to kit bash into a Bruce Wayne. Batfleck fans, by all means, I count myself as one of y'all. We are eating good tonight. I have not been this excited to talk about a Hot Toys pre-order in a while, and I'm counting down the minutes until I can get this guy in hand. In fact, I might just go ahead and pick up 2 of them. That's how big of a Batfleck fan I am. Now, I'm getting mine from Pop Collectibles. As always, do your own research, make sure you are comfortable before buying. I have popped the link to their site in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.